Andrew James, and I go to Greenville High School and the Fine Arts Center in Greenville County. And art school is downtown, and I think one of the biggest things for this project that I came up with is that there's a whole lot of privilege where I come from. There's a whole lot of people who wake up in the morning, make their coffee, go into their garage, get in their $65,000 car, go to work, go out to lunch with their friends, drive home, have a nice dinner with their family, go to sleep, and they don't see anything going on in their community surrounding them. It's really a big problem. And so what I came up with is Root Serves, which is run through my church, which is First Presbyterian Church downtown. They sponsored us. And let's see if we can get into this. So what is Root Serves? Root Serves is actually it's a community service group, and right now we are representing 11 different high schools from the Greenville County School District, and from, I think there's one or two from Spartanburg and maybe one from Anderson. So we have a lot of kids coming out to this. And the goal was originally to meet every other month and go out into the community to do a small service project. And my goal was not to pick some specific service project that I wanted to continuously improve something. My goal was to go out into the community and show students that there's this need, there's all these different needs that people have, and if you just give some of your time, you can go out and fill one of these needs. And so we are sponsored and run through First Presbyterian's youth group called Roots, which is why we're called Root Serves. Again, awareness. This is my biggest thing, is that a lot of people are simply unaware. They think that they need to go, oh, well, I'm going to go to Africa for a mission trip, or I'm going to go and I'm going to help somebody in some urban area that's just really poor, or I'm going to go somewhere in West Virginia or somewhere. But there are people in our communities who really need help and who really need just simple things that you can do just with your time, not even with a lot of money, not even with a lot of special skills. You can just go out and do things. And so, here's our very first project that we did, which was October 24th. We met up on my youth floor, and my church very graciously went out and let us buy these materials, which we just packed up packages for homeless people. So the idea was every single student actually left with one or two of these to keep in their cars, which it had just simple toiletries. We had razors, soap, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrush, just simple things that people can use on a daily basis. And we actually handed these out right after that really big storm swept through in October that was just so nasty and did all that horrible damage in Columbia. And so our goal was just to give them something that was a relief. And we wanted to start this project off with something small and something that wasn't a lot of time and energy to put into it, just to see how many kids would come. And so we were actually really impressed with this first event because we had about 30 kids show up to it, which was great. And so we decided to move on to something bigger, and that led to this. In late November, we actually met up again and served a Thanksgiving meal because the church had really wanted to do this, and they really needed a group to do it. And we were available, and so we did break our every other month rule this one time to have this event. What we did was we packed up probably upwards of 200 meals and served them to people from the Summit across the street, which, if you don't know what the Summit is, it is a low-cost senior living arrangement for people in the downtown area. And really our goal was just to get together and feed them. And it was also really great, again, because my church was sponsoring this whole thing. So the food was provided for by the church, and the entire kitchen staff volunteered their time to come in and cook it for us, which was absolutely awesome. We just had a ton of support in doing this one. And again, we had a lot. I think this may have been one of our bigger groups. I think we had about 45 or 50 volunteers come to this, which was absolutely awesome. And then we had our next event was for Neighborhood Focus, which, if nobody knows what Neighborhood Focus is, you should, because it's really awesome and you can get involved in it. Neighborhood Focus is actually a group that mentors underprivileged kids. And I mean, it's anyone who's this tall to 17, 18 years old in high school. It's really awesome. And the goal is just to give them a safe place to go, to hang out and have fun and be out of trouble. This particular church where we're working is where they hold their youth group. I believe they call it Fuse. And it is in the middle of Berea. This is an old Baptist church. They have, I think, 150 members or something. They're really dwindling down. But we just wanted to do something special for this youth group. And so we went in and painted up their facilities and made them nice and pretty because they just had really plain vanilla walls. It's a really simple space, and we just wanted to make it more fun for them. And then we went out and we cleaned up some of their facilities. They had a nice little bit of roughage outside for us to dig through. But this one was also really well attended. We bust out probably 50 or 60 volunteers for this one, which was really great. And then our most recent event has been at the Brookdale Hawthorne Retirement Home, which this event was actually a big pain to schedule because I tried to schedule with a different retirement home that I had known because my grandfather had stayed there, and I went around and around and around and around and around with them, and I just could not get a good answer from them, and I couldn't get a good time to go, and it was just this big conflict. But I just called these really nice people here at Brookdale Hawthorne, and they were super excited to hear that we had people who wanted to come and just do work for them. All we did, we swept up outside, we moved some sandbags around that they had that were just helping keep some water out from the storm. We cleaned up outside, we just cleaned the railing. This one actually had a nice little guest visitor here. This is our 8-year-old Henry who came with us because one of our volunteers was babysitting that day. But old people love kids, so it went just great. And then up there on the top is we just kind of had a bunch of residents come in and sit with us in their main lobby area and just kind of hang out and talk with us. And they had a piano, so I sat down and actually got to do something that I know how to do. Of course, there's not a lot of things I know how to do, but I can play piano reasonably well. And it was really funny though. I sat down. I'm a classically trained pianist, and I sat down and I was playing Chopin and Mozart or whatever else, and I had this lady just go, "You're so boring." And she was like, "Don't you know anything that'll get these people up? They're all tired and it's morning and they're just gonna put them to sleep." And she just kept telling me, and then I would ask her, "Well, what do you want me to play? Do you have anything in mind?" And she'd go, "What a friend we have in Jesus." She said, every time I ask her what she's going to play, "What a friend we have in Jesus." They all know that one. That's a good one. "Are you a good old Baptist boy?" And then they Baptist hymn on. I was all kinds of out of my element, but it was great. It was a great learning experience, a great improvisational kind of on-the-fly deal. But that was our most recent one, and we are planning more. This is a continuing program. The way that this is also working is that my church has an annual mission trip where they do go out of the country, and we're trying to make sure that kids who are going on that mission trip are actually prepared to go and do the work they need to do. So in order to be allowed to go on that, you have to fill out an application and go through this process, but you have to go to 2 or 3 of these just to be considered, because we are really serious about people understanding how to deal with needs, how to not be super comfortable, how to go out and work for other people and not expect anything in return. So that has also really helped this program, and it will continue. The plan is to continue to do one every other month all year long. So that is my project.